You've been watching our videos, did you say?
Yeah.
He's the fan.
I'm the one. I'm the one.
So it's a lovely day for another MMD tour, and this time we're going to Northumberland.
Following the amazing success of Scotland's North Coast 500 route and the Wales 360 route, Northumberland decided to join the party with their Northumberland 250. So it became an obvious choice for our next MMD tour. The website describes it as a 250-mile adventure road trip across the land of dark skies, rolling hills and remarkable coastline. It's actually a loop that stretches from the North Pennines to Berwick-upon-Tweed, taking in the Northumberland National Park and the Northumberland coast. Loving history as we do, we're also really excited to take in the holy island of Lindisfarne and finally get to see Hadrian's Wall. In true MMD touring style, we're going to take our time getting to Northumberland with a couple of stops on the way. The historic seaside town of Whitby, but first of all, the medieval cathedral city of Lincoln. Sadly, schoolboy planning error on my part. Unfortunately, it took the A1, a hideous road. So, after a quick break, we got off it as quick as we could. I must admit, I didn't know much about Lincoln before this trip, but it turns out to be a cathedral city with a fascinating history dating back to Roman times. And as soon as we hit the cobbled streets, it was also like taking a ride back in time. So this is where we're staying, the Old Palace Hotel, converted church. Let's have a look at our accommodation. Then I walk over the graveyard. Bike safely tucked away. And also view of the cathedral.
Quirky little place.
Yeah, here we are, the church. So here we are. It's a bit dark, but then again I think we're in the crypt, so it would be. Leaded windows, decent sized bed, and shower.
There we go.
There's a bathroom, nice and clean. So, what do you think of the room?
Yeah, I think given that we're in probably the crypt of a church, that's why the windows are like they are. But it's bijou, it's comfortable. There's a coffee machine, which is great, and it's 2 minutes walk to wine o'clock.
Perfect. So it's time to explore the delightful city of Lincoln, but first of all, got to be a coffee stop. Coffee, Victoria Sponge cappuccino.
Perfect.
What's it? Oh, we are. Lincoln on a sunny day. Newport Arch is a 3rd century Roman gate in the city of Lincoln. It's a scheduled monument and a Grade 1 listed building, and reputedly the oldest arch in the United Kingdom still used by traffic. Lincoln Cathedral is the 3rd largest English cathedral. William the Conqueror commissioned it to be built in 1072. It was once regarded as the tallest building in the world after the spire was added in 1311, overtaking the Great Pyramid of Giza, until 1549 when the spire collapsed in a turbulent storm.
We're not long. That was the last one we did, actually. We're on the way up to Northumberland.
Yeah, it's actually quite funny actually, because my wife and I do a lot of touring. Hi.
You've been watching our videos, did you say?
Yeah.
He's the fan.
I'm the one. Actually, we're very reliant on your hotel reviews, but we actually do very similar things ourselves, you see. So.
Does your wife ride?
No, she doesn't. She's pillions. But we've just literally just back from the Snowdonia 360, which I know you've done as well.
Yeah.
What's your job, Richard?
I'm a visitor experience officer here at the castle.
Visitor experience officer.
Yeah. So my role here today is meeting, greeting, welcoming people on the site. I also ride a Honda Goldwing.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
And you've recently done the Snowdonia
360.
Good weather.
We did have glorious weather.
We're not jealous at all.
No, I saw yours. It looked pretty horrendous, didn't it? Yeah.
We had some good days.
Yeah.
But we had a real pea super.
Me?
Not fancy learning to ride.
She did once upon a time, but then she kind of had a go at it. Didn't get it very well, so she thought.
She watched my pillion to rider and the ups and downs, literally.
Thanks to Richard for his top tips, the Magna Carta and the Victorian Prison. There are only 4 original copies of the Magna Carta still in existence. 2 are at the British Library, 1 is in Salisbury Cathedral, and the last one is here in Lincoln Castle. The Magna Carta, or the Great Charter, is one of the most famous documents in the world. The first document to put into writing the principle that the king and his government was not above the law. It was created by a group of 13th century barons to protect their rights and property against King John, universally acknowledged as probably one of the worst kings of England. Lincoln Castle's Victorian prison was designed for the separate system, as they called it, an isolating regime that kept prisoners apart from the corrupting influence of their fellow prisoners. I'm not sure if it worked or not, but one thing it did do was drive prisoners insane, which was handy really, because at the back of the prison there was a mental asylum to cater for them. So folks, that was the castle. What do you think?
It was brilliant. It's really worth a visit. Seeing the Magna Carta was great, and walking round the ramparts of the castle was really fascinating. It was great that we had such great weather to do it, but yeah, really recommend it.
And now it's almost beer o'clock time.
Beer o'clock.
So let's get back, get changed, and get back out. Now this is the real Magna Carta.
One of the green ones, yeah.
I think I might go and sample the Magna Carta tonight.
I'm in cahoots.
Do you think? So this steep hill. So, do you want to go down steep hill? No, no thank you. Right, let's get back. Well folks, it's 5:40. So what time is it?
It's beer o'clock.
Hurrah! Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Beer o'clock. Perfect. So now we're moved from the Magna Carta and we're now at the Lion and Snake. And we've got a pint of IPA. What are you drinking?
Good.
Oh, lasagna. Perfect. Pub grub, wasn't it?
It was excellent.
We're wending our way back to the crypt. We're slightly mellow. We'll see you tomorrow at breakfast. So Tuesday morning, breakfast at Bell's Tea and Coffee House apparently. Oh, here we go. Proper bacon butter.
That's a proper bacon butty with lots of bacon in it.
An egg. So if you're going to stay in Lincoln at the Old Palace Lodge, what can you expect?
The Old Palace Lodge is a quirky little place filled with character, and it's actually a converted church. It is ideally located, being overlooked by the cathedral, just a 5-minute walk away, and a similar short walk to the famous castle, pub, shops and restaurants. Our room was located in the basement area, probably the space which was the crypt in years gone by, so as anticipated, the small leaded windows made the room really dark. It was also quite snug, but there was plenty of hanging space for our kit and a decent bathroom, and the bed was really comfortable. The Old Palace Lodge doesn't offer an evening meal, and breakfast is a croissant and a yoghurt left on the door handle of your room, so we actually opted to eat out for both dinner and breakfast. The small grass and gravel car park is entered through electric security gates, so it's really secure, and a very helpful and friendly lady was there to meet and greet and direct visitors to the parking space on arrival and advise on the local area. We'd really happily stay there again.
So that was a fantastic night in Lincoln last night and a very interesting stay in this converted church. Yesterday's weather was fantastic. Today is a bit grey and overcast, however, it's not going to rain, fingers crossed. And today we are off to Whitby via Scarborough. So let's check in on the road. Our route today was going to take us past the RAF base at Scampton, across the Humber Bridge, a coffee stop at Driffield, and then heading to the coast to swing by Scarborough just to see what it was like because I'd never been there, and then take a quick look at Robin Hood's Bay before ending up at our final destination of Whitby. Well, we've got to say, we really loved Lincoln, a real gem of a place. Everything with the easy walking distance and steeped in history. Definitely recommended. RAF Scampton is of course famous for being the original home of the Dambuster Squadron and the current home of the Red Arrows. The Humber Bridge held the record for the world's longest single-span suspension bridge for 16 years from its opening in July 1981. And it still remains the longest single-span suspension bridge in the world that can be crossed on foot or by bicycle. We'd never been to Driffield before, it just happened to be on the route, but it was a nice pleasant little town and we found a great spot to have a coffee. Umbrella Plaza, for obvious reasons.
Coffee stop.
You may well ask why anybody would want to ride through a very busy seaside resort in the peak months of summer. Well, there is a reason. Let's explain.
My dad was in the Territorial Army for many years, and there was always an annual dinner and dance at the Grand Hotel. My sister and I got to tag along and spent many a happy hour going up and down in the old lift. I was really quite keen to see the old place again after about 40 years.
In an ideal world, of course, we would have pulled over and taken a better look, but as you can see, with traffic this bad, frankly, we just wanted to get through it as quick as we could. When I was a kid growing up in Blackburn in the northwest, our main holiday destinations would be Blackpool and Morecambe. So I guess if you were brought up on the east coast, you would head for Scarborough and Skegness.
No need to say
Robin Hood's Bay is a picturesque old fishing village on the heritage coast of the North York Moors, and it's about 6 miles south of Whitby. And by the 18th century, Robin Hood's Bay had gained a well-earned reputation as a smuggler's haunt, with an isolated protected harbour bounded on 3 sides by a marsh. It seems highly likely that most of the population was involved in smuggling in some form or another.
With your hand on your heart, oh please tell me, will I call?
Whitby is one of the most popular seaside towns in the UK and is known as the jewel in the crown of the North Yorkshire coast. The history of Whitby is fascinating and includes ties to Dracula, whaling and Captain Cook. Oh, and it's supposed to have some of the best fish and chips in Britain, but more of that later. So we're staying in Bagdale Hall Annexe, room 15. Room 15 with a 4-poster.
It's my first ever 4-poster.
Well, see, I treat you to all the best things in life. Yeah, it's a reasonable by size space, areas to charge up all the gear, right onto the main road, but I'm sure it'll be quieter later on. And bathroom with a hot tub to jump in and soak our weary bones. So, all in all, yeah, really nice room. So we're just going to unwind for a bit, go out, because it's beer o'clock very soon, and go and find some place to grab a bite to eat in Driffield. So we made it, folks. Welcome to the glorious Whitby, famous for its fish and chips. Isn't it? There's the Abbey up there. How many steps to the Abbey?
I think it's 199.
Do you want to do it?
Now, this minute?
No.
No, I wouldn't mind doing it.
So we did decide to walk up to the Abbey after all, but we took a different route. We thought we'd leave the 199 steps for the way down. The ruins of Whitby Abbey are among the most famous sites of North Yorkshire. The first monastery here was founded in about 657 and became one of the most important religious centres in the Anglo-Saxon world. Bram Stoker visited Whitby in 1890 and the abbey inspired him to write his famous novel, Dracula. According to the story, a ship runs aground below the cliff, and a large dog bounds from the wreck and runs up the 199 steps to the church, and from this moment things began to go horribly wrong. Dracula has arrived. How many have we done now?
Not enough.
We have the next to go.
Baby actually, but there was a baby died in room 2 many years ago, and the mum pulled all her hair out because she was blonde, and a lot of people say that they find blonde hairs everywhere.
The lady in white? What do you mean there's a ghost in here?
She's on the stairs, the lady in white, and we've got a man in here called Brown Bushel. After wandering around fruitlessly around Whitby for an hour trying to find a place to get fish and chips, or frankly any kind of food, any kind of seafood, in the end we gave up and got a takeaway. But the good news is this takeaway was from a fish and chip shop voted by the BBC the best fish and chips in Britain. So we're going to go back to our room and sample them, and after all this wait, it better be the best fish and chips we've ever had. We'll check in later. So, you've almost finished. What's your verdict?
Well, I thought my fish and chips were very good. I had cod, which was lovely, big portion, lots of chips. It would have been nice to eat them in a restaurant, but given that we got them back here, they're still warm, and they were very tasty. I give them a thumbs up.
A thumbs up. A thumbs up. And for me, maybe not so. So, a split decision on the fish and chip front, folks. I'm sure at one stage they were the best fish and chips in Britain, but the telltale sign is, if there's no queue, there's a reason why there's no queue. This is obviously the place we should have gone. Breakfast.
Do you want to sit down?
Anywhere. So, would Bagdale Hall's breakfast make up for the disappointing fish and chips the night before? Yes, it would. Overall, how would we rate Bagdale Hall?
Bagdale Hall and its modern annexe is a 5-minute walk to the touristy centre of Whitby, and within very easy access to pubs, restaurants and local entertainment. The annexe was located just behind the main hall, and our room was bright and spacious with a very indulgent 4-poster bed. There was also a tub in the bathroom, which of course I'm always really happy to see. Finding food was interesting. The hall doesn't offer an evening meal, so we decided to walk into Whitby and find some seafood. That proved a lot easier said than done, as everywhere was completely fully booked. Takeaway fish and chips eaten in our bedroom turned out to be our fine dining for the night. Breakfast at the hall was great, as was the service and the stories from the staff of the resident ghosts, which apparently inhabit the old building. There is private parking for the hall and annex residents, which is well hidden from view, but the car park's really small, so it's worth arriving early. If you're staying in Whitby, it's a great place, but you really do pay a price for its convenient location.